friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those who speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back. Super rock on the mountain, Mississippi and Quebec. Told you wasn't black, proved it was straight facts. You tripping off trucks, let me make sure I'm there. Here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people talk.
What up, Nelson? We in now.
And looking at women, buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care?
What up, Nelson?
They got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty.
Man, this is what we do, family.
Kodak, Amigos, Raw, Lucid. But when I love for the woman, look like your mother. I got to say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now, I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma talk to y'all. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. $50 holler. That's not for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rocks some fans. He ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for show. And some got it right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my fast mistake. I want my town, my shirt, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. That's why you killing, fighting, marry out of your race. If you ain't for more world, then get out of my face. Cause Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to love the wars world, come on and build it with me. Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. Oh yeah. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. Be more.
Just 1, 2, 1, 2. Y'all hear me?
That town. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. Hello. I be that more you gon' remember. New York. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear me? Check 1, 2. Can you hear me? Let me make sure y'all can hear me. I went and put on my headphones. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Press 1 if you can hear me. Help me out. Where y'all at? I don't see no ones in the building, man. Y'all making me nervous. Y'all might can't hear me. Hold up. I don't see near one in the building. Oh, all right. All right. Am I sounding all right? Why didn't I just put on? I thought we was cool. Why I just didn't just check my stuff out? Hey, fam, let me say this first. And I don't want to make this this is easy. I don't want to make this divide and conquer. And I don't want to make this okay, here we go. I don't want to make this okay, we good. All right. So look, check this out. I want y'all to send a message that if the trolls keep on trolling me about kombucha, I'm going to do me a presentation that is going to disqualify the good doctor in such a way it ain't going to be pretty. So I'm going to tell you, y'all know what I do. I'm going to bring screen shares. I'm going to bring screen shares and I'm going to disqualify the doctor in such a way that no one has ever seen before. So I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a problem. Real talk. So I would advise the trolls stop playing with me. You know, I got receipts. I mean, there we go. I'm going to give you the whole history. I don't know why my camera is not clear. Let me go out and come in. I'm going to go out and come back in. Let Let me go out and come back in. They say I'm what's the name, but they're gonna be in here. Let me see this. I'm gonna go out and come back in. How I look now. I probably got some stuff running in the back. Well, let me check on. Let me see. See what I got now. Let me check. It's still a little bit grainy. It's a little grainy. Hold up. Let me try this. Try this. Tell me how I'm looking now. Let me see. I'm looking a little grainy. Let's see. Let's see if we get some light. Enhance it. I mean, hold up. Make sure I'm good. So, family, tonight, right, is going to be one of them nights that I really do this show for. You know what I'm saying? I really do this show for so we can really make change. And I'm with all the antics. Hold up. I think I'm good. Let me see. So look. Yeah, my joint looking terrible. I don't understand what's going on. Yeah, they up in here. They up in here. But yeah, man. Shout out to the NO, man. Y'all hear about that hurricane down there? It's pretty bad. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cover that. I'm gonna get some footage from that. My brother from the temple that's down there, he just had to be evacuated. And I'll be talking about that soon, probably tomorrow. But let me say this. This here is one of them topics that should be covered and should be spread wide, far and wide. If y'all don't remember, give me a chance real quick. Give me 1 second. And I want to show y'all. Y'all followed. How many people followed me as I was talking about NFAC? Anybody? Well, that's one if you followed me as I was talking about NFAC. Because this is what you need to understand is that this is connected. Do anybody remember Grandmaster J? Matter of fact, I'm going to Google it because if you Google it, NFAC, usually it'll come up, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can get it real quick. Okay, now this is in real time. This is in real time. Let me share the screen real quick. So the gentleman that we're talking about tonight, right, is my brother right here. The gentleman that we're talking about tonight is my brother right here. See my brother right here in the middle? I'm quite sure that's him. This is brother K Foss. Now, during the NFAC run, if you will, during the NFAC run, he was the assistant to Grandmaster J. So it was Grandmaster J and it was him. You feel me? Now, Grandmaster J had confronted him one time on live about women saying that he was sending nude pics to certain women. I don't know why it's so blurry. Why is my thing so blurry? I don't know. All right, look, I'm gonna try to come out and do this right again. Let me restart because I don't like this blurry stuff. I mean, that's all right. We got a minute. Let me try it one more. How I'm looking now? Let me see. Let me see how I'm looking now. I can't believe they be playing with me like this, man. I'm looking better. I look like I'm looking a little bit better. Let me see. Yeah, I'm looking a little bit better. All right. Yeah, I'm looking a little bit better. Thanks for all your support. Let me do this before we get started. Family, let me deeply, sincerely thank you for all your support. For all, I'm putting this in the chat, your support. Because let me see, pin this message. I want to thank you for all your support. And I want to thank everybody who has hit the Cash App. Last night, you know, we were so fired up. Michael, brother Michael Ockard, my brother John, I'm going to just say my brother John Bay, and my Harness Energy, Eda. I want to thank all of y'all for y'all support and all of those that support in the past. We're going to get this van. Matter of fact, I'm on a hunt for it right now. I'm on a hunt for it right now. I have reached enough where I can throw anything to it and I can get it done. So we getting this thing rapping. We just need to get the right thing. We going to get it moving. You know what I'm saying? And so I thank all of y'all, family. I thank all of y'all for that, man. We're going to these trials. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see what's really good. And we're going to be on the front line with it. So I thank all of y'all. It is what it is. But back to what I was saying. So there was a Grandmaster Jay had put out a video, and he had said that this guy named, shoot, I didn't forgot his name, K Foss. The guy named K Foss was sending naked pictures to women. You know what I'm saying? And then they end up falling out, and then he was seeming to be with Michi X, and I mean, it was just a mess. So over the time that he was with NFAC and ultimately left, you know what I mean? Yeah, I did forget. Absolutely. Over the time he was he actually left NFAC. I was speaking to his let me just say his ex-lady friend of 5 years. And speaking with her, she proceeded to share her story about how Brother K Foss was basically just running rampant and messing with a lot of females, et cetera, sisters. But I don't want to tell the story. I want the sisters to tell the story, because this is a serious story, and any sisters in here should listen clear. That way you're able to know and be confident that you can tell your own story. You feel what I'm saying? And tell your own story with confidence, and don't let anybody stop you from telling your story. You know what I'm saying? If a guy has committed some of these things that we're about to hear tonight, come on. You can't hold back. You got to tell your story. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to it. So I got 3 sisters. The experience of this story. Experience of how about now? Does it sound muffled? Man, this stuff always act quick. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Hold up. Let me see. Let me check it on Okay, somebody say it's good now. Man, that's crazy how they messing with me tonight. Hold up. How about now? Check, check, check. How about now? How I'm sounding now? All right. That's crazy how they messing with me tonight. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So the sister in the corner, she's a young sister, and she has experienced something that nobody should experience in conjunction with the other sisters have experienced. So first, allow me to introduce. In fact, let's start in the right-hand corner with Mommy Hoops, and let her tell us a little bit about herself, and then we're going to go down to Black Hourglass. I'm pretty sure y'all familiar with her, and then we're going to go to the left. You know what I'm saying? She has, I think she got in hers, protect the Black woman. I think that's what she got in her on her name tag. But with that being said, Mommy Hoops, can you tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started without compromising anything that's going on with, if there's proceedings or anything that could compromise that. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? A little bit about yourself, and how did you meet K Foss?
Well, I am a model. You have me muted.
You good? No, you good.
Okay. I'm a model. I met K Foss in November of 2019. I was one of the models that he shot in Detroit for a boudoir photo shoot. And we were in a group chat with all the other models, and he began inboxing me separately. And that's how we started communicating. I've been modeling for over 10 years. I was actually on a break because I got married and had some children. That's where the Mommy Hoop Goddess came from. And that's actually the name of one of my businesses. I have a few. And that's how I met him.
And so now let's go down to I'm saying down. I guess to my sister Black Hourglass. Black Hourglass, how about you? And hold on. Before we go past Mommy Goddess, how long were you communicating with K Foss?
I was communicating with him for a little bit over a year.
Okay.
We stopped communication May of 2021.
Okay, now let's get to Black Hourglass. Black Hourglass, how did your story start? Where do you come from? How did this all start with you?
K Foss got in my inbox in 2016, like around May 16th, I think, of 2016. And basically he said I had a nice butt, and he wanted to meet me, and he wanted to link up, and he told me he was a photographer, and that he wanted to do photo shoots with me. I had began modeling as a college student, and I'm older. I'm 51 years old. So when I was in college, it was in the late 80s, early 90s. So I had started modeling in the late 80s, and I stopped, and got married, raised family, career, college, all those good things. So I returned to modeling in my 40s, actually. So I had a long break in between, being a model as a 19, 20-year-old, and then becoming a model in my 40s. So, he reached out to me in my inbox, as I found that's how he does a lot of the women that he would meet. But we actually wound up divorcing our spouses and moving in with each other. And he just moved out in February of 2021.
Okay. And now we got protect Black women. I think that's the hashtag that she has up there. Sis, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
How are you?
I'm hanging in there as best
I
can. So a little bit about me. I'm 25, recent graduate from, I don't even want to put my university out there, but I just graduated from college.
Right.
So I'm a mother of one. And I met K Foss through the internet right around the time where the whole Grandmaster J debacle happened. And we weren't consistently speaking with each other up until, I want to say, August of this year.
Right. So, man, this is a crazy story, because I know the story. And the story is kind of hard to tell because you don't want to, you know what I mean, compromise anything that's going on, but we're going to try to get through it. So, Mommy Goddess, when
Yes,
you
sir.
got involved with K Foss, were you aware that he was, I mean, as we know, anybody on the throne know the backstory a little bit, but for those that's on YouTube, probably don't know the full backstory. But while you were talking to K Foss, was he also with Black Hourglass?
He was. When I first began communicating with him, he did make me aware that that was his girlfriend. He actually told me that they were in an open relationship. And at the time when I met him, I was actually being courted for a poly relationship with a couple that I knew. So we both had expressed that we were into these alternative lifestyles. So we had that in common. And so I knew that he had a situation going on. He knew that I had a situation going on, and that was how we met. I was freshly divorced. I had been divorced about 2 months. You know.
Did you ever reach out to Black Hourglass or try to connect with him? If you know what I'm saying, or
I didn't connect with her separately, but he did connect me with her in the beginning. So she and I were Facebook friends for a short period of time. I think we may have chatted briefly, but it wasn't anything solid. It was just like a hi, how are you? We both were modeling. We might have chatted briefly about modeling. You know, she's an older model. I'm an older model as well. I was returning to modeling. So we had a few things in common. And he tried to it made it appear he was trying to bridge some kind of communication between us. I believe it was to support this whole we're in an open relationship theory he was trying to push on me.
How about you, Black Hourglass? When he was, how was he pulling this off? Because it's only, you were with him for 5 years, right?
Correct.
How was he pulling this off? Because it seems to me that they were not. We have protect the Black woman and Mommy Hourglass. I mean, Mommy Oops, Hoop Goddess. But there was plenty of other sisters that fell victim to K Foss, if that's what you want to call it. How did he pull this off?
Well, he's a covert narcissist, so he's going to keep a constant supply of females, you know, at all times, and he doesn't work. So, you know, the time that you or I would be spending on our jobs, he's spending that time on his phone. You know, it turns out, you know, he's in everybody's inbox and their DMs. He was getting on sex sites like Adult Sex Finder. You know, he's had profiles on there, Black Booty Call, just all kinds of stuff. You know, he had like all kinds of explicit photos out there, and they were popping up on gay sites and just all kinds of nonsense. So he would keep busy, you know, during work hours with trying to inbox women and, you know, trying to link up with women. And because he was a photographer first before he became a gun dealer, he would use the excuse of having to go do photo shoots in other cities. And usually, as I found out after the fact, that would be to meet up with other women in those locations. So like I'm from Detroit originally, and Mommy Hoop Goddess is in Detroit with those other models. He would go to Detroit and do photo shoots there and wouldn't even allow me and the kids to go back home to see the family. You know, our whole family's in Detroit. So he would always make the excuse, so I'm going to be so busy, you know, doing my shoots and I don't have time, and you guys be better off staying, you know, home in Virginia. And it turns out because he was sleeping with several of the models in addition to Mommy Hoop Goddess, you know, when he'd go back there. So that would have been problematic if I went and would be questioning, you know, where he's at when he's out here trying to screw women.
And protect Black women. How did your experience initially start? And can you make, and I'm gonna be right here with you for a minute. How did your situation initially start, and what did it go to?
Okay, so oh shoot, where do I start?
So did it go into your inbox, sister?
Yeah, he did. So initially the way that it started was he was on a certain person's live and they were chatting, and you know, he really gave me the perception that they were in fact in an open relationship. You know, after the live, Okay, I should rewind back. So in the live, he was mentioning the infamous picture. So, I jokingly said I would like to see it. I want to see what the controversy was about.
Oh, the
And
same picture that Grandmaster Jay was talking about, that he was sending to
yes,
women. Okay, I got you.
yes,
That
correct.
was the nude picture that he
And
was passing around to women.
The Photoshop nude picture.
correct. I
Right.
mean, I'm a woman, and if I find something attractive, I want to see it, and I'm just going to be real with that.
Right.
And he saw that comment, and he reached out to me in my DMs, and it just went downhill very, very quickly. I asked him over and over again, was he in an open relationship? He said yes. Carla does her thing, I do mine. I was definitely under the impression that he was free to move about the cabin, essentially.
Right.
That was what he presented to me. And he painted out these ladies to be bitter, for lack of better words, because I would ask questions that didn't make sense. And when those questions were answered, he methodically painted that picture of, oh, everyone is crazy, everyone is lying on me, don't believe them, I don't know why they're turning their back on me. Just clear manipulation.
Did y'all move from a communication to a physical relationship?
Yes. So that was kind of like the weird part about it. So up until August this month, we never had any, I guess, one-on-one full contact with each other. Prior to me meeting him, we did not talk consistently for that duration of time.
So once y'all got together, what happened once y'all actually met each other? When did y'all meet each other physically?
Physically, we met each other twice. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
That's okay, sis.
Today was an emotional day for me.
Take your time. Take your time. Pause for a minute, sis. Pause for a minute, sis. And this is what I'm telling y'all, family. Sis is trying to get her story out. There's a lot to be told. It's the half, not even a third of it has been told yet. She's going to try to get it out. I hope y'all stick around so you actually can feel what actually is happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Feel what actually is happening in this situation, because this is a very fresh situation. It's very fresh. Even up into today and coming on the show, things took place in order to address this, to try to bring some closure, if you will. But let me go to Mommy Hoop Goddess. Mommy Hoop Goddess, when was the first time that you and Kevin actually came into physical contact with one another? And how did that happen?
He drove to Detroit it was February 27th, 2020. He drove to Detroit. He told me he had a photo shoot in Chicago. And so on his way to Chicago, he passed through Detroit to see me. He was at my house for maybe about 6 hours or so. And that was the first time we were intimate together. And the way that happened, there was a lot of communication from after the photo shoot, which was the November before. Lots of text messaging, lots of FaceTiming up until that point. And that was the first time he came to see me.
How, if you don't mind me asking, how did the relationship unfold to the point where you become intimate, even in the sense that, he's traveling from something? How did that happen? If you don't mind me asking.
Sure, I don't mind you asking. There was, like I said, there was a lot of communication that led up to that. So there were a lot of FaceTime, intimate time, if you get what I'm saying. We talked on FaceTime a lot. He would be FaceTiming me in the shower. I would do the same. We sent each other lots of videos. We all know what types of pictures he likes to send. So, of course, he sent me lots of those kind of pictures. I returned the same. So there was a lot of sexting that was involved prior to him physically coming out to Detroit to visit me the first time. And that, that was pretty much how our relationship, the nature of our relationship kind of was cultivated. A lot of communication along those lines. And it kind of just took flight from there.
So what brings you here to tell your story on Moorish World TV? What took place from that fun texting or sexting to now you're right here? What happened?
Well, what happened during that time frame, somewhere between, I ended up moving to Atlanta February of this year. So between February and now, he actually began to come and see me more often. I also learned after the fact too that he moved out from the home with Black Hourglass, also during the same time in February. In May, he threw me and two other women into a group chat and said that he wanted to have a poly union with the four of us. That was the first time I actually heard of those other two women. And I was under the impression that he was only being intimate with myself and Black Hourglass and another young woman who I don't know if she's been mentioned or not. So at that time, I thought it was just the three of us. At that moment, I learned that it was not only these two women, Desiree and Trudy, the woman in question, Black Hourglass, and two other women that I learned about. A few days, I think, after that initial encounter with the other two women, I had actually formed a connection with one of the ladies, and I thought that we were friends. And I actually went to go see her the following weekend. That weekend was a disaster. I ended up leaving her home abruptly. And the next day when I got home, he started to send me a barrage of vulgar text messages accusing me of sending sex tapes of other people that I never had possession of and text messages to Black Hourglass. So to nip things in the bud and get things straight, I actually reached out to her on Facebook to let her know that I was not the person sending her these supposed videos and text messages. That was when she informed me that she had not received any of these so-called messages. And she then said, if he's your man, be careful. And so that was how she and I began communicating, him accusing me of sending her all kinds of nonsense. I think we've lost audio.
I invited K Foss on the show. And this is a little bit touchy, but I invited K Foss on the show, not this show. But when let me see, sister, that's right. Sisters, please speak for us that don't have a voice. Absolutely. Thank you, Tina T.
There are many women that have fallen into this category with him that are too afraid of him to speak up. The last time I was on, you actually played a voicemail from one particular woman. There were several that I was in touch with, a few of them that I tried to warn about certain things that he was spreading that they needed to be made aware of. And a lot of them are just fearful because he's very threatening. He's very abusive, and
that's what I want to get to. Because in the Throne, if y'all ain't subscribed in the Throne, we had interviews in the Throne. And one of the hot topics was that he was spreading herpes, HPV. That was one of the hot topics. HPV. What is HPV?
That's another. That's
human papilloma virus.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is. But that was the big story in the Throne when I interviewed Black Hourglass. And Black Hourglass just went straight to it and said, he was spreading HSV.
Yes, he has HSV1.
He has HSV1, according to you. How can you say that so confident? Because he sent me a paper, right? He sent me a paper, and we viewed it in the Throne.
Right.
And obviously, that paper seems like it was altered.
It's a lie.
Correct. He has HSV1. I can say it confidently because prior to him coming to Detroit in February of 2019, I divulged to him that my ex-husband had given me HSV2 and that my ex-husband had both HSV1 and 2, and he divulged to me that he had HSV1.
Oh yeah, somebody put it in there. Cryptonomics put it in there. Go ahead, sis.
Also, when he threw all the ladies together, the ladies from the polycule, when he threw us all together, I told the ladies that I had HSV2, and in that conversation, he then told them he had HSV1. That's how I can say it confidently because he said it at least on 3 occasions.
And now I got I'm gonna get the black hourglass in a minute. Protect black black woman. What you was ready to say?
I just want to address some of these comments that I see. And I'm not going to be disrespectful, but I just want to say this. No one willingly signed up for herpes. No one
Absolutely.
willingly signed up to be sexually assaulted. And so when I see these comments, it concerns me. And that's why I have Protect Black Women. We are the most disrespected group in this country. I just feel like if we were white, this would be a different story. How in the world is this somebody's fault?
Yeah, how do we say?
I wasn't really.
A lot of people are trolls. Some of them you got to ignore. I'm a block.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And they can keep trolling, but this is more of an educational segment here.
Absolutely.
And this is a PSA. Yeah, you could say, oh, well, you knew he was married, or you knew this, you knew that. Excuse me. Yes, that information I was privy to. But when you're constantly being manipulated, you're constantly being lied to, and you have a person that purposefully created dissension so this right here could not happen, it is no way my fault. It is absolutely no way my fault. What abuse did he do? Revolutionist 1945? I was sexually assaulted. Yeah, let's go ahead and put that out there. Did I go over there under the pretense of wanting to have sexual intercourse? Absolutely. I did. And I want to be honest with that, because in no way am I trying to come off as bitter or I wanted a relationship with him, because that was never discussed. When we met and we began communication, it was purely off of a sexual basis. Period. I have nothing to gain from defaming this man. He has no job. So I'm not after money. You know what I'm saying? I work hard for what I have. At 25, there is absolutely nothing that I need from this man. The only thing that I got was HSB1. And that's period.
So are you saying that you was sexually assaulted and you got HSV1 from that
correct.
sexual assault?
That is correct.
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Come on, sis. You good?
I just wanted to provide some educational facts as well, because I'm seeing some ignorance being spewed in the comments here. Somebody said something about condoms. Condoms will not protect you from HSV1, simply because if somebody's having an outbreak on an area that's not covered by a condom and you're being intimate and those areas are touching, how are you being protected? Also, as I shared on the interview you did with me prior, 67% of the global population has HSV1. Global population meaning the entire world. So it's very common. It's more common than you think. A lot of people don't even show any symptoms. A lot of people don't even know that they have it. It's so common that doctors will not even test for it. You have to ask for a specific test. The name of the test is an IgG test. So for those of you who are in the comments who may be fearful about coming forward, about being intimate with this particular person that we're talking about, that's fine. Don't come forward. Go get a test anyway, though. That's all I have to say about that.
So Black Hourglass, did you have any concerns that did you know, were you aware that he actually had HSV1?
I wasn't well versed.
You know what? I remember the interview. You said that you talked to somebody, and I think that was Mommy Hourglass, and that's how you found out. But I'll let you tell it.
Yes. When Mommy Hoop Goddess reached out to me,
I said Mommy Hourglass. I'm tripping.
We'll just make a new person. It seems like he was trying to make Black Hourglasses all over America, so why not? When she reached out to me, she told me, you know, that they had been having an intimate relationship for quite some time. And, you know, she was telling me details and it was matching up with gaps in his stories and his absences. And then she dropped a bombshell on me and she said, I have HSV too. And when I told K Foss about it before we were ever intimate, he said, I don't give a fuck. And he then proceeded, you know, to have unprotected sex. And like she said, not that it may have made much of a difference. And so Mommy Hoop Goddess thought that, oh, well, he must have HSV and that's why he's not concerned, but he never really said. And then later on, towards the end of their relationship, and this is when he was still here at my house. It was during the winter. He was having really bad cold sores on his mouth. I mean, festering cold sores. One would pop up really bad, and then by the time that one would go away, it'd be over here. And because we wear the mask every day, he would take his mask off, put it in the armrest of his car so he wouldn't forget it. But the masks weren't getting clean. So it's kind of like, I guess he was just spreading it to himself over and over. Because at one point he had an outbreak on his nose, you know, that had like, you know, bumps and everything on it. He wasn't sure what was going on. And like I said, I wasn't well versed in HSV 1 or 2 or anything. I didn't know. I've learned a lot from Mommy Hoop Goddess asking her questions and just looking at what K Foss has been going through with himself. So I just didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know what it was like. So he asked her at one point, he said, my outbreaks are getting really bad. I've been treating it with, I don't know, I think he was putting acetone in his mouth and apple cider vinegar and coconut oil, and it wasn't working. And he said, I think I need something internal. And he asked the sister, could she put in a prescription at the Wegmans near where we live? And then he was going to go pick up her prescription and he was going to take her medication himself. So he did go and he's probably got a DEA case now too to join the club. So he did get her medication to treat his own outbreak. And, you know, you've shared that screenshot of the text messages before where he, you know, asked her for her medicine.
Right.
Right.
So, you know, that's why it was kind of odd that he's, you know, forging documents showing that he doesn't have it when anyone who knows him knows that, yeah, he did. You know, he just told me that he was born with cold sores, and this is just something he's always dealt with.
He said he got it from his dad.
He was born
He told me he got it from his
cold
mom.
sores?
He told me he got it from his mom when he was being born or some nonsense, and that he said it would just only happen during stress. But towards the end, you know, like when the Grandmaster J fallout started and he started messing with Michi X, them lesions was popping up. He was festering pretty good throughout the months of like November, December, January. Like it was a hot mess. So he was glad that he was behind the mask. In fact, Michi X went live on her Instagram. I think it was like January the 4th or something like that about the Grandmaster J fallout. And he went on there with her and he went outside to do his, you know, part of her show so that he could wear the mask because it would make sense if he's outside, he's in a mask because his mouth was festering so bad. He knew he couldn't, you know, appear on her show unmasked. And so I found it ironic that he was, you know, going back to that footage and DMing any woman that asked to see his nude pictures, knowing, you know, what his mouth looked like and everything. But that's how he stalks women. And so she unknowingly is providing supply to him because, like he said, anytime she shouts his name out or mentions him or throws him up on her YouTubes or anything like that, he'll pick up 3 or 4 followers. And that was important to him, you know, because he's looking for narcissistic supply at all times. And so he went back through the live and he saw this sister here and other sisters that were, you know, interested in seeing his explicit pictures. And he reached out to them. And unfortunately, she's one that, you know, took the bait. It's very sad, you know, and that's why I've been trying to warn sisters about, like, this man is a predator, you know, in addition to being a felon and all the other cases he has going on, he takes advantage of women. He likes to molest children. He is a predator. Women need to be more cautious about messing with these men.
Are these allegations that you feel that you can prove emphatically?
Yes.
Whew. Everybody say yes. Good goodness gracious. Let me jump back to protect Black women. So when you and him got together, if you don't mind, how did it lead to the point where you were, because that's one of the questions I'm sure that you've been asked. If you talk to somebody, that how did it get to the point where you were meeting up for the hookup, but then it went left? If you could say without throwing too much out there, but how did it go left? If your intentions was to meet up for the hookup, but then it goes left, and then once it's all over, you have HSV1. How did that work?
So, like I mentioned, it was asked or decided upon that we were going to meet up for a physical interaction after he got off the road. Allegedly, he was in Philadelphia at the time. And in that moment of interaction, I asked him to stop. And he would not. And I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. All right. So how did you ultimately find out that you was infected? Would they call it an infection with HSV?
Yeah, in a nutshell.
How did that happen?
I noticed like a bump that did not mimic your average pimple. My lip began to tingle, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on? And this was right after I heard Flo's interview. And I went to go get it checked out just to be safe. And he said immediately, you definitely have HSV1. And they tested me for HSV2. And luckily that was clear. I didn't have genital herpes.
And you're 25.
That's correct.
You're 25, and Mommy Goddess, if you don't mind, how old are you? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm 43.
You 43.
I'll be 44 in a couple of months. Mm-hmm.
And Black Hourglass is 50.
51.
So 51. I mean, I don't see 50 or 51. So
Thank you.
I just gotta take your word for it. It is what it is. So Black Hourglass, when you found out this, was y'all still together?
No. He discarded in February. He came in, I want to say February 17th or 18th or something like that. We hadn't been arguing or anything anymore. He just came in one day with garbage bags, and I asked him, I said, what are you doing? You moving? What's the garbage bags for? And he said, yeah, I'm moving. So that's how he told me he was leaving. Now, mind you, he had been inboxing a lot of my female friends, telling them that he was leaving. He was getting an apartment in Alexandria, and he desired to have sex with them. Like they were supposed to be excited about that. And they were just like, what the hell is wrong with you? So everyone else knew but me that he was moving out. He claimed he just made this decision on his own, but I'd later find out he had to get. He told me that Michi had to forge employment documents for him to show that he was working for her company in order to prove that he had employment, because he hasn't worked since 2014, so he didn't have any proof of employment. And some of the other ladies that he's dealing with, they helped put money together to pay his down. What do you call the deposit for the
security deposit.
Apartment security deposit? Sorry, I'm a homeowner, so they had to pay his security deposit for him. And then he was bragging that he had created an Amazon wish list and sent it out, and these women were buying all his furniture and everything, and he really didn't have to come out of pocket for anything. So he just came in with garbage bags. He came here with garbage bags. He left with garbage bags, and that's pretty much what it was. He came here on foot. He left here in a lift. So that's how I found out he was leaving. A lot of the stuff that's been coming out about him, a lot of the criminal activity that he's done with his PPP loan fraud and the weapons and the VA fraud. I mean, just any agency you can name, he's doing something fraudulent with you. That $10,000 that Michi X gave him, and they didn't file taxes on it. All of that stuff would come out later after he left. It was just like a ton of bricks just kept every day. It was something new. Every day was something new.
What
You know,
what would you say to if somebody would say, well, are you bitter? Are you just trying to get back because he quote unquote, you know how that ignorant thing go, he played you and you trying to get back? What would you say to that?
No, this is what I would say. He was a member of NFAC, and I know Grandmaster J. Grandmaster J has been to my house, so you know I can only speak on things that I know. NFAC was a fraud organization. Grandmaster J is a fraud, as we will now find out. You know, he doesn't really have the background that he said he did. He wasn't a DJ. You know, he was in the army, got kicked out twice for violence against his wives. What he threatened one wife with an AR-15 and pistol whipped the second wife. All of the men who run NFAC have a background a mile long for domestic violence. You know, what's his name? Saladin, Desert Eagle, all these domestic violence. Ozone, domestic violence. K Foss, domestic violence of a minor. You know, he's been assaulting women for a long, long time. Grandmaster J, domestic violence. This is the problem. These people feel that organizations like NFAC and some of these others that we're hearing about now are really here for the liberation of our people. But how can you liberate our people if you are violent towards our people? You're not going to protect me and rape me at the same time. That's impossible. You know, all of these are just sham organizations. They're cults that these people are in. And I wanted people to know what you're up against. Don't just believe everything you see because it looks good on YouTube. It looks good on Instagram. We need to do better research. We need to vet these people better than what we're doing and just let somebody like a Grandmaster J and K Foss pop up out of nowhere and all of a sudden, you know, we up here dropping our panties for them because we think that these are like the new Black Panther Party and that's Malcolm X and Martin Luther King or something like that, when they're not. These are actual criminals. We are throwing our money and our time and our efforts behind actual criminals. Predators. Right. They call him the predator. He really is a predator. He preys on children. He preys on vulnerable women. He doesn't even have a type. Like, you know, some people like, oh, he likes BBWs. Most of them are BBWs. I'm not a BBW. You know, he just preys after women. If you have a hole and it looks like it's something that he can get from you, he gonna come after you. I've had women almost 70 years old that's got played by this man. This child could be my daughter, right? You're like, I could be her mom. He doesn't care.
So you telling me after your, I'm sorry to cut your wisdom.
No,
Black Hourglass, after your interview, did people start reaching out to you more?
Yes. I've had a few women to reach out to me and say that, you know, they've been mistreated by him. I've had young ladies reach out and say, you know, he was sexually harassing me. He kept sending me videos of him jacking off. He kept sending me nudes. I told him, leave me alone. I have a boyfriend. One young lady said that he figured out where she worked at and he showed up at her job high on Adderall. And it terrified her because this was somebody she had blocked, didn't think that he knew that he knew where she worked at. And here he is standing in her place of employment talking about why you blocked me. You know, so I've had a lot of women, like women you wouldn't even think he would go after, all races too. So it's not just, you know, sisters. If you have a hole, you know, he's in your inbox. I've had so many women reach out to me and say, you know, he was sexually harassing me. I was scared to say anything. I saw you on, you know, Taharka Bay's show. You know, I just wanted to speak out. He did this to me too. But we need to speak out before it happens. My wish would have been, even though, you know, it was towards the end of our relationship when the young sister started talking to K Foss, if my words could have resonated with her and something would have clicked in this child and say, you know what, let me leave this MF alone. He's no good. Maybe she wouldn't be sitting here right now crying because this man has raped her a few weeks ago. If I can reach one person and save them from getting raped by this man, then everything that I'm saying is worth it. Having Michi X and him trying to send revenge porn to my job is all worth it if I can save one woman from getting sexually assaulted by this man.
Do you you said you made this statement that, you know, he allegedly raped a child or something like that. And
he did not rape a child, but he has attacked my child, my oldest daughter, when she was 16. He jumped on her. She was in her bedroom. He jumped on her, got on top of her, started licking her all in her face, licking her all in the ear. He's 6'2", 260 pounds. She's a little bitty thin thing. She's smaller than I am. She couldn't get him off of her. The only way she was able to get him to stop is she grabbed one of them raggedy dreadlocks and pulled it out of the scalp. He started screaming in pain, and he ran away holding his hair. And, all he would say is, oh, she pulled my hair out. She pulled my hair out. But he wouldn't say what led up to it. She was so afraid of him that she couldn't even speak about it for months. It was months. It was well after he left is when she felt comfortable enough to tell me what he had did to her. And she said he's done this to her on other occasions, and I feel he was grooming her that he was going to eventually do to her what he did to this young sister here. And that's what just burned me up when I, hearing the story and just hearing the things that he did to her. It's infuriating to me that someone like this can just walk around and keep doing this to people. He has domestic assault charges against a minor, cases going back to 2005. So it ain't just no one-off thing. This man is a career rapist.
Somebody asked, and then I'm gonna get to Mommy Hoop Goddess and then spin it right back around. Somebody said, let me say to CB Bro. CB Bro says, start checking them receipts, suspect, everyone till they prove otherwise. We have been covering this story since early this year. Most of it we've been covering in the Throne, which is our private group chat where we can do live streams. And so we have covered it in the Throne. We have been presented with all the receipts, and so now we're just having a conversation in order to alarm any woman that has been violated to speak out. Speaking out doesn't mean coming on YouTube. Speaking out means going to the authorities and doing the things that you got to do to get this adjusted. You know what I'm saying? And get some resolution, get some counseling, and then keep it moving. So we have covered this fully. We have covered this fully. And I wouldn't, and just like the thing from last night, although it was talking about some silly kombucha, I talked to Black Hourglass. I talked to Black Hourglass probably for about 2 months or maybe even 3 before we actually did the show. She had been sending me receipt after receipt after receipt after receipt. And by the time it was time to do the show, I was so overloaded with receipts. I was like, man, I don't know how we're going to do this, but we got through it. And so, yeah, I don't do shows with accusations that could, mess somebody's name up. You know what I mean? It got to be not only believable, it got to be verifiable. So with Mommy Hoop Goddess, when you were with him, what ultimately happened for you to go to the extreme left? I know I asked you that before, but were y'all fighting? Were y'all was he aggressively manhandling you physically? What happened?
He never manhandled me physically or anything like that. He was being verbally abusive. He was texting me and calling me names. He kept calling me Dirty B because he was accusing me of sending. He had a sex tape that leaked during the time I was in Florida visiting Desiree. And Desiree showed me the tape.
He must have leaked it.
I believe he leaked it, but there was a tape that came out. It was of him and a woman he was seeing. It was of him and that woman's best friend. The tape was circulating. Desiree showed it to me. He then accused me of sending it to Black Hourglass. I never had possession of the tape. Also, there were some text messages that leaked. Some of them were of him having a conversation with a transsexual person. I never had possession of, yes. I never had possession. Mm-hmm.
I'm under the weather a little bit, but hold up.
You got that shit. You better go get that shit, man. This ain't nothing to play with. Right.
Listen, soon as somebody get a cold, everybody got the thing go bang bang. I'm good. and in fact, so many people dying in the hospital, man. Just put me in my bed. I'm good.
Right. That's the last place you want to go. You got a better chance of eating it at home.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, but so.
But what I was going to ask you, Hourglass, you made me lose my thought.
What was were we arguing? Were we fighting?
Yeah. What were you arguing about? But it was something else while you was talking. I wanted to ask you. I don't know.
He was basically looking for a scapegoat. He was just attacking me and accusing me of all these different things that I had not done. Prior to that, though, Desiree was the person when I was at her home. She was telling me about different things he was doing to her, how he would just get upset and start yelling and screaming at her, how they would break up for a few hours, then make back up. And so I was telling her, she was also talking about how Messy X had done a YouTube video talking about talking about a woman that was being, I think,
Oh, that's right.
A woman who had been raped by one of the brothers in NFAC. And Desiree was upset that her story was being talked about by a woman who had not spoken to her. And so I told her the only reason that would have happened is if Kevin would have given her permission to do it, because he is the one that will go and talk about personal things with somebody else. He pillow talks and will share your business and like, go ahead, talk about it. He'll give the other person permission to talk about it, and then come to you and pretend like he has no knowledge about how this story got leaked out. That's something that he has done with me. He did it with her. That's just something he does.
But
I think he was going to ask about them transsexuals.
That's
too.
what I was going to ask about.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
That's what it was about the transsexuals. You said that he was with transsexuals.
Well, I saw messages on Facebook where he was interacting with a transsexual person, and the person said, "Hey, just so you know, I'm trans." And Kevin's response was the emoji with the big eyes, and that's where the messages were cut off. They didn't have anything beyond that. There were several.
You didn't see anything beyond that.
Right, we didn't see anything beyond that. But then there was also several messages where he was inboxing women all over the country. Somebody in Houston, he was in process of planning a trip to Houston, and he was setting up, supply out there. Gosh, it was so many. But she showed me all of this, and she was very upset that he had all this going on. And I never had possession of any of these things, but he began to accuse me and a friend of mine of sending these things to Black Hourglass. He also was saying that we used Desiree's phone, we broke into Desiree's phone and snuck, and he was just being over the top.
Right.
And so that was I guess it was an argument at that point. And I just decided, I said, we're going to nip this in, but I'm going to jump in her inbox and settle this right now. I'm going to tell her that I'm not the person that sent these supposed messages. And so I started to Facebook her, and everything I sent to her initially, I was screenshotting to him like, look, hey, you may not know me, but I am his friend. We were talking for this amount of time whatsoever. She initially was like, I'm sorry, I don't know you. And so I gave her a little back history. And she said, well, if that's your man now, be careful. He moved out of here. He's no longer here. We're not together. And then I told her, he told me you were in an open relationship. So that's when she and I began to communicate. But that was pretty much the argument that kind of ensued that led me to even going and talking to her in the first place. He was trying to accuse me of all these things that I didn't even do, and I never had possession of those videos.
One thing about covert narcissists is that they will triangulate people and pit them against each other. And in the instance that she just described, now he's got her and Desiree and Lord knows who else. He's got them triangulated, and now their common enemy is me. Even though they don't know me, don't know anything about me, I'm an enemy. Even though they're sleeping with my man and they know that we're together, now I am the enemy because let him tell it, she's spreading sex tapes and she's,
Right.
so mean, and we're in an open relationship, and she's always accusing me of cheating somehow. So this is what he does. He maneuvers people and pits them against one another and lets the chaos consume. Another example would be like with Michi X and Grandmaster J. There was absolutely no reason for Michi X to start going live about things that were happening within NFAC and Grandmaster J. Even though what he said about him was true, she didn't have any role to play in it, as she is not in the organization. But he was able to triangulate her to get her to be pitted against Grandmaster J, so that she could now go public and say all these things and basically cause the organization to fall apart, and it's never gotten back together again since then. So this is what he does. He's triangulating people, pitting them against one another. He's the victim. Let him tell it. He's the victim. All these women are saying all these things about me. Like he can't deny that he has HSV1. He does. I mean, he can lie about it. He can't deny that he sold Grandmaster J AR-15 under the table, or any of the other multitude of weapons he sold to felons and other things like that. Those things are undeniable, but he will triangulate people and make it seem that he is the victim in these circumstances. Right. That's something he's well versed in. Very well versed in. And he will deflect. He'll start arguing with you. He'll change the subject, and all of a sudden you're coming to him
bringing up things
with
that
accusations of things he's done, and then you'll find yourself feeling like you need to apologize to him for his own wrongdoing. He's very well versed in that.
Protect Black women. What led you to to say, you know what, I've been violated? Did you realize you was violated at the time? I mean, was it a struggle? If you don't mind, no, you don't have to
Yes.
go into it. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. It was definitely a struggle because I felt like I asked for it, right? I did, and I continued.
Did you continue to talk to him after that?
Yes. So after it happened, you know, I didn't say anything. I want to say for about a day or so, and he asked me to come back over, and I'm sorry. I'll just leave it at that. But I just want to say that again, I want to keep reiterating this. I constantly struggle with the fact that this happened because I don't like to be in the victim role. I don't like to be painted off as, oh, woe is me, you know, because again, I ask the ones that question this, what necessarily do I have to gain by coming on YouTube and talking about the fact that this man gave me an incurable disease? When I asked him to stop, he did not stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, no means no. Like, there are, like the young lady said, there are married people that are raped constantly. And from what I heard about this man and the propensity that he has to become violent, when he told me to come over, yet again, I obliged. And I want to be clear. I want to be honest because nobody can tell the story but me. And I want to be as most accurate as I can to just dispel all the rumors, dispel all the, oh, well, she went back, she did this. When you're petrified of a man, because I'm still saying why, when you're petrified of a man that deals with heavy artillery, he has guns. I've heard a few allegations after the sexual assault that he beats women. Like, what am I supposed to do as a 25-year-old that lives by herself? You know what I'm saying? That this man has the capability, like both of these beautiful women have said, to pop up at somebody's job, to pop up at somebody's house. And it's easier said than done when you say, oh, well, she should have went to the police. Hindsight is 2020. I stand 10 toes down in my shit. Were there some things that I could have done better? Absolutely. But that's hindsight. You don't know if I called or whatever. Like, and some things are not at liberty to discuss, but I just want to say this. You know, I'm not perfect by all means. You know, I have my stuff with me too. You know what I'm saying? But how is my mistakes justification for what he did to me? That's my question. Yes, I made a mistake. I did. I made several mistakes along this journey. But please explain to me, how is that justification for intimidation, rape, abuse, any of that sort? It's none. I don't have a good support system. I don't have somewhat of a forethought like these two beautiful young ladies have. Again, and I'm not trying to use my age as an excuse, but come on, where's the grace? I'm 25. This can be your daughter. This can be your sister. This can be anybody. And that's
the thing about it is, it doesn't matter the age. I mean, you know,
and it doesn't matter the age.
By him as a 51-year-old because he's twice as big as me. If he's feeling rapey that day, then that's just what he does. He doesn't care about the age or anything.
Now you,
And this is one reason why I've been on high alert, because if he was feeling rapey, he might just show up and I'm gonna have to show him the Detroit side of me, because I'm not getting raped.
So let me ask Black Hourglass. Protect Black Women had mentioned, you know, and which is true, that even if you married, you could be raped. If you're in a relationship and you can be raped, you know what I mean? Once you say stop, it's a wrap. Long as you've been with him, have you experienced any aggressive physical nature?
Yes. Yes. On January the 3rd, we had just gotten back from Savannah. We went there over the weekend. My birthday was the day before, and we drove back from Savannah back to Virginia, and everything was starting to go to hell with the Grandmaster Jay and Michi stuff. And so Grandmaster Jay, you know, because they were saying he's lying on K Foss, he didn't send all these nude pics and all these different messages. He posted a bunch of screenshots that K Foss had sent to INFAC Women. He posted it on his Instagram page. And so that's where I saw it. And when I confronted K Foss about it, you know, we got into an argument, and I basically was like, excuse my French, you don't shit where you eat. Like, you can't be in this organization saying that you're going to protect people and you're marching around with the rifles and everything like that, and then you're in the people's inboxes trying to coerce them into having sex with you and making them look at your news. I thought that was ignorant. And I told him, I said, look, this has been going on for a long time. If you want to be single, go be single. Then you don't have to worry about a family that loves you or a woman that cares about you. You can just go do you. You can just go and, you know, raw dog earth if you want to. Why would you want to say you want to be in a relationship and then you still want to cheat, you know, like this? And so, you know, he got all up in my face, and, you know, he's screaming and yelling at me, and he's pointing his face, you know, pointing his finger in my face. And I told him to get his finger out of my face. And he was like, you don't tell me what to do. I'll put my finger in your face if I want to. He cussing and everything. And then he took one of his giant oven mitt hands and he did like this and just pushed my head back. And that was the first time that he had ever been physically violent with me. Like, something about this Grandmaster Jay thing just really pushed him over the edge. And it was like a whole different person. Like, he had a rage in his eyes. It didn't even seem like the same man. The look on his face, the blank coldness in his stare, it just looked like it was an entirely different person. And I told him, I said, I fear you. This is the first time I actually fear for my safety with you. Like, you could kill me if you wanted to. That is not what I was looking for in a relationship. And I told him, I was like, I don't think this is going to work out. You really need to go. And so, you know, he was still saying, you know, I love you. I'm in it for the long haul. You know, I got issues, PTSD from Afghanistan and everything like that. He started making all these excuses. And, you know, he just kept crying and apologizing and everything, saying he's never hit a woman. He's never been physical with a woman before, you know, but, you know, this is not going to happen again. It's not in his character. So that was January 3rd. And then fast forward to February, when he comes in with his garbage bags, grinning, you know, moving out. He packed up his things that night. It was a Thursday, right after Valentine's Day. And I had went to bed. I was angry, you know, because I just thought it was tacky to, you know, go and sneak and get a lease on an apartment and not even say anything. You're just going to just roll out like it's no big deal. So I was very upset. So he came and actually got in the bed with me. And I was like, why are you getting in this bed? You know, I'm like, you should be sleeping on the couch. You can't really dip up out of here. And he was like, well, I'm not leaving yet and everything. And he was trying to take my night clothes off. I had, like, you know, the little shorts and little tank top and everything to sleep in. And he was trying to take my stuff off of me. So I curled up, you know, in a knot, and I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, I'm still here. You know, we about to get it in or whatever. And I just put up such a fuss that he left me alone that night. But the next morning, which was a Friday, he did take my clothes off me and proceeded to just get on top of me and start having sex with me. I started crying. I'm hitting him, punching him again. He is every bit of 260, if not more. I can't move him. It's like trying to, you know, like a refrigerator laying on you. I can't move this big animal off of me. And he's like, you know, like he was like into it. Even though I'm screaming, I'm crying, I'm punching him, I'm upset. Like, I've never been this upset before in my life. He's still having sex with me, regardless of how I felt, regardless of me trying to stop him. He's still going through with the sexual act. He's whispering in my ear, talking about he loves me. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this man. I couldn't get him off of me. And then finally he stopped and he was like, "Oh, you don't want to have sex with me now?" And I was like, "Is he that shit crazy?" And I said, "No, why would I want to have sex if you're literally getting ready to put these garbage bags in this van and leave?" So I went into the bathroom and just shut myself in there for a while, tried to wait to see if he was gonna like leave or anything, and then he just started getting dressed and packing his stuff up to leave. So when the young sister said that this happened to her, I was like, he's done it again. And then when I discovered that he has done this to a young girl back in 05, I said, this is who he is. So even though I made it to the end of our relationship, he still sexually assaulted me. I'm 51. It ain't have nothing to do with my youth or any kind of immaturity or any signs of weakness or anything that he saw. This is supposed to be somebody that loved me, but he raped me anyway. This is who he is. This is who he is.
So
y'all can take it however y'all want. I know people in the comments might be trolling. I can't see it. You can take it for what he is. If you are considering that you want to enter into this kind of relationship with this man too, keep your children away from him and make sure you get tested to make sure that you don't have HSV. If you can say those two things are true, or you just don't care if he molests your children, have at it. He's all yours.
Let me ask. Let me go back. I want to. What I know. Protect Black Women said she was physically attracted to him, and that was the drive to get in touch, to move forward. How about you? Was it all physical for you, mommy? Hoop Goddess.
Was it all physical for me?
Yeah, like when you seen him. When you seen him, was it physical? Okay, was it a physical interest, or was it a relationship type interest?
It was physical interest, but the way that he operates, he will create a situation to where you will feel like it's a relationship of some kind. When I hear some of the other stories from the other women, I really feel like I got spared, especially when it comes to the rape situation. I shared with the two of them 2 instances of things that happened that could have gone potentially the same way that their instances went. The only thing is that there were other people in my home and we were sleeping. So had it been a situation where there was nobody else in the home, to where maybe if he was aggressive or forceful and I was saying no and had to scream and nobody could hear me, it could have definitely gone that route. But thankfully I had somebody within earshot that could have I shared with them a story the last phone call we had, that when he came to Detroit last November for the photo shoot we had another boudoir shoot last November, and that was when he picked up the dolls that I made. And my oldest stepson had come to the house to help my son with virtual learning, and I didn't know he was coming. And so he came to the house right before Kevin got there, right after. I don't remember when the timeline he came, but when he came, I had gone to the bedroom and Kevin had initiated a sexual encounter, and he was starting to be aggressive. And I'm like, hey, there's people here, but I still was along for it. But at one point he was trying to be aggressive, and I was telling him like, hey, chill out, because it was too many people in the house, and he relaxed a little bit. But had my stepson, who's about his size, not been there, he potentially could have forced it. You see what I'm saying? But I had never experienced a forceful situation like what they described. I had never experienced that with him. But thinking back through my experiences, because there was always something. And I just feel really scared. And that's really scary. That's really scary to think. But then also, I've had a history of rape and sex.
Say it again. You had a history of? Hold up. You were muted.
We can't hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't hear you at all. I think she just froze too. No, we can't hear you at all. Might have to go out and come in. Let me get to Protect Black Women. Protect Black Women. Did you see yourself? Was it purely physical for you in the beginning? Because most people, I would imagine, people that not seeing you not seeing sex crimes as a violation if you meet somebody somewhere. I don't know how they come up with that logic, but I guess some of them do. In the beginning, did you see yourself going into the future with him? Were you in a relationship? How was that working?
Absolutely not. Didn't see myself in a relationship with him. We all know how old he is. So realistically speaking, I could never bring him to like meet my family, any of that sort. I just met this big man that I was always curious about, because I would see pictures and I'm like, wow, I mean, compared to everybody else that I saw at the picture, sadly, he looked the best. So it was just like, and then I see him on Michi's Live, and, I'm just like, oh, like he appealed, he gained my sympathy, essentially. But trying to be in a relationship with him, absolutely not.
I try to tell everybody this. I try to tell everybody that social media is now the launching pad for nonsense, and we should be able to address things on social media because it's now the launching pad for nonsense. You know what I'm saying? And so this starts on social media. Are you in the same town as him, or he gotta get to you? Are you near him? Were you near him at the time?
I was near him at the time.
Okay,
that is correct.
Okay, and let me say this to everybody who's watching. For those I've been watching the chat, and for everybody that says that, well, they should have went to the police. Family, don't rule that out. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say something really quick? I'm sorry to cut you off. Because I keep saying accountability. What more accountability do you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, I'm not sitting here trying to give you white woman tears here. Like, this is my real life. Like, this is not a game. And so the purpose of this video or this stream is a warning, because I didn't listen to that warning. I'm hard-headed. My mom used to pop my hind pots all the time for not listening. You know what I'm saying? And again, hindsight is 2020. I wished that I listened. I did. And maybe I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I wish I didn't go back. I wish that I never met this man, but I did. And when I became aware at the fact that he could potentially be doing this to children, like I have a child myself. I can't imagine my son going through sexual abuse, trauma, what have you. So I would be doing a disservice to not say anything. I have struggled on multiple times trying to understand what exactly happened to me. And it's a journey. It's a process. I blame myself all the time. All the time. So all of these questions that are being asked and, basically blaming me and blaming these women, trust and believe, I went through all of that and I still do. It's hard. But when do we come to a time where we say enough is enough? I don't care if I went over there butt ass naked, ready for the get down. Once I said no, it should have ended. Period.
And then you expressed that it got violent or super aggressive or something. I think that alone it speaks volumes. You know what I mean? Wow. I just want to real quick. I want to show everybody real quick. Everybody keep asking. They're not familiar with this, brother. But this is K Foss, and unfortunately, I got to show you this video. This is a video with Brother Ozo, and they're having a conversation. K Foss is down the bottom. So the bottom guy is K Foss from NFAC. See, there you go. Hold up.
I can't hear it.
See, there you go. Hold up.
I can't hear it.
Oh, hold up. Hold up. Let me do it. Let me do it again.
I can't hear it.
Yeah, because I got it in my headphones. Let me do it one more time. In fact, hold up. Let me do it like that. Hold up. Let me do it again. Yeah, because I got it in my headphones. Let me do it one more. In fact, hold up. Let me do it like that. Hold up. Let me do it again. Yeah, because I got it in my headphones. In fact, hold up. Hold up. Let me do it again. Yeah, because I got it in my headphones. In fact, hold up. Hold up.
Oh, do we have the show ourselves now?
Oh, well, all
Were you
right.
able to hear that?
So we
Were
can
y'all
address
able to hear
some of
that?
these comments.
Were y'all able to hear
We can
that?
address some of these.
No, we couldn't hear it.
No, I
Not at
wasn't able to
all.
hear it.
Oh my goodness, what did I do? I was trying to get them to hear something that is very important. Hold on, let's try one more time. Hold up. We try one more time. Hold up. I don't know how I messed that up. Hold up, here we go. How did I mess that up? All right, here we go again. My bad, family. All right, I'm gonna play it again.
He called me a illegal arms dealer. Come on, bro. Don't do that.
I can't fuck.
No, we gonna do the leave that out right now. If it wasn't about her calling this man out for being a bitch nigga for doing what the fuck he did, none of us would know that shit. We would still be sitting here like, when we gonna do the North formation? When we gonna do this? When we gonna do that? I got everybody in my inbox talking about, you send a dick pic and all this other nigga. I don't give a fuck about all that.
Will y'all even hear that?
Yeah, we heard that.
Somewhat.
So, well, in that video, he's angry that him and Grandmaster J has split, and he's saying that the cause of the split is because he's sending everybody private parts pictures, or that was instrumental in the split. I want to ask Black Hourglass. You mentioned that he was in some way, in some intents and purposes, with Michi X. Is that Michi X? I think she denied it or something. Is that
She actually co-signed it.
huh? Say it again.
She actually co-signed it, didn't she? Saying if he sent it, so what, or something to that effect.
Right. But was he involved with Michi X, or were they just friends? He claimed that they were friends.
No, they were involved with each other. He did not want to claim her for some reason, and I know part of it's due to, even though he enjoys the fact that she is narcissistic supply to him and she gives him money, he would brag about that she was going to pay for gun certifications for him, and she's going to give him money to teach at the Black Agenda movement seminars they would be having. He enjoyed that aspect of it, but even though he is just as vulgar as she is, maybe not as bad, he really doesn't like a woman who is loud and vulgar and just everything's bitch, nigger, nigger. So he did not want to claim her publicly. It was only until April of 2021 before he would finally admit to me that they were having a sexual relationship all this time. He did not want to claim her.
Mm, mm, mm. I think this is a horrible story. As this story goes forward, right? Um, um, protect Black women. Have you been
Yes.
have you reached out to see if you could get some closure, counseling, anything of that nature? And I know you and it's a good thing that you reached out to the sisters or the sisters reach out to you. But have you done anything for like closure counseling or anything?
Yes, I'm currently in counseling 3 times a week.
Mm, mm, mm. This
3
something.
times a week.
This is something.
This was definitely hard to do, but this has been a part of my therapy and my healing to move forward. You know, I just want peace in my life, and this guy has given me so much hell, and that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here, because there could be a 25-year-old in the chat that has been manipulated, lied to, that just doesn't believe that he's capable of doing these things. And you can believe what you want. I don't, I care, but I don't care. What I'm here for is to let the sisters like me know that this is not a game. It's not, because I thought it was. And I'm going to be real and honest with my shit, because that's what Kevin is incapable of doing. It's not a game. Protect yourself.
And you know, Grand Chic, when I heard her story, when she told us everything, it was so painful to hear this young girl is in tears over something that you fed for 5 years and released back into the wild. And this is what he's doing to people. It was hurtful to me. Like, you know, just hearing it, this girl is like in tears. She said, I just kept praying and just thinking about my son. I just hope he don't kill me so I can get back to my son. And she said that was the only way she could get through it, was to just think about her child. Oh, I'm sorry. Was to think about her child, and then she just wanted it to be over with so she could get to her son. And then she said, you know, she said, Miss Carla and Miss Flo, she said, y'all saved my life. She said, I saw your videos and I heard what you were saying, and I know that it wasn't just me, that he just did this to me, that this is who this person is. And it wasn't something necessarily that she had did wrong. And she said, by listening to the videos and by you giving us a voice, that she realized she wasn't alone in the world, and that it doesn't mean that she's just a bad person. Yeah, she may have been attracted to him. You know, he's a gigolo. That's fine. I mean, we all got him the same way, including me. This is what he does. But that doesn't mean that he should be raping these girls. To hear this girl saying that all she can do is just pray he don't kill me. Do you know how bad that hurts as a mother and as a Black woman to hear another Black woman say this? Like, this, just, I'm 50, she's 25, she could be my child. I got kids. And I'm thinking, like, he could have did this to my kids. It is very hurtful to hear that somebody that I was in a relationship with for half a freaking decade is out here raping girls. It's disgusting. And we got to stop giving this shit a pass in the Black community. I'm sick of it. It's hurtful.
It's not okay.
And I'm not sure if people want to if you wanted me to share this, but even up to the last minute, he sends the young sister allegedly this text: Lion B, you have fun lying tonight. LOL.
Grand Chic, I'm gonna need you to scroll up. My name is exposed.
Oh, my bad. I'll take it down, but I just wanted to get that part right there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry about that, but I'll take that out. The point that I'm making is, even up to the minute of you ready to tell your story, he reaches out to you to intimidate.
That is correct.
Did he reach out to anybody else?
He can't reach me.
Oh, he cannot
It
reach
would
me,
not
but
be.
he did have weapons shipped to my damn house last week.
Oh my goodness.
He has my address posted out on social media. For
He
all I know, he could
posted
have one of
pictures of
his
me and
NFAC
with my
cronies.
government name and my job on his Instagram page.
Mm.
And DeKalb
This
County
is
Police said, "Oh, we can't do anything." For those of you saying, "Why didn't they call the police?" They said, "Oh, if he showed up at your house, just protect yourself."
It's definitely
So
easier said than done with going to the authorities because, again, I live alone. You know what I'm saying?
I
I've
do
never
too.
experienced this a day in my life. I've never been through this. So again, hindsight is 2020. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. We're here now, and that's on my kid.
Mm-hmm.
When that message was sent, that gave me even more encouragement to tell my story. And I want to
almost
keep
didn't
putting
come
this
forward with
out
nudity.
here that I don't have anything to gain from this man. I don't.
He got
Again,
nothing to
he
give
has
you
no
but
job,
disease.
but a disease. He has no job, so it ain't money. I make good money, and I want to put that out there. I'm self-sufficient at 25. There's absolutely nothing I have to gain from this man. I don't want internet clout. If you go to my damn Instagram page, I haven't posted anything in a damn year. I don't do social media. I don't do all of that. But when is it going to come a point in time where people say enough is enough? All of that shit in the comments, excuse my language, all of that, you should have did this, you should have did that. I should have. You're right. Absolutely. I should have, but I didn't. So where do I go from here? Just shut up and be quiet? I don't think so.
do you ladies have some sort of concrete resolution in mind, like to bring this to a close, so you can heal and move on? Have anybody taken action to bring this to a close so everyone can heal and move on?
Yes, I
My
have.
contact resolution at this point to move forward is to just continue to protect myself and continue to, like I said, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna continue to protect myself. He knows what he has equipped me with and the kinds of things that he has taught me, and I would hate for him to be the recipient of the lessons he has taught me. I'll leave it at that.
A covert narcissist, the biggest thing they hate is exposure, because he reinvents himself. Like, he's gone from the photography to doing the guns and doing NFAC. Now he's calling them. He made a post pretending to be dead and killed off the K Foss tactical company. Now he's calling himself the God Ampu, the God of Death. Like, we're not supposed to know that's him. So he recreates himself. He'll just keep moving from town to town, recreating himself to another group of unsuspecting women. He hates the exposure. He doesn't like the fact that people now know what he is and what he's about. That's what he hates most of all, because it makes it hard for him to hide behind that facade of he's a victim and he's misunderstood, and Carla just wouldn't do this and she wouldn't help me and all this other kind of stuff. Makes it really difficult when people can see it for themselves.
My sister T Moody L, she says, does any ladies have an order of protection against him?
I don't have an order of protection. I did attempt to get one when he first left, but just luck of the draw, the magistrate that I got, as soon as I told her that he had all these guns, her whole demeanor changed. And she was like, well, just because he's a gun owner don't mean that he should have PPO and all that. And she's like turned into a MAGA supporter. And, so I've been trying to get one. But, even though he stalked me, he's, chased my car down in our city and went and found out where I was, came to the nail salon with his gun, threatening, talking about I'm effing up his business and all that. They still look at it like, well, he hasn't done anything to you yet. The way the laws are written, they're not designed to really protect women until something bad actually happens to them.
Yeah,
I had a no
they don't
trespassing
prevent
order
crime
against them.
Yeah, they don't try to prevent crime. They try to respond to crime.
Yeah,
So
like
they
the
need
police will
they
say,
need a
well,
crime
just
committed.
call, if he comes over here, call us. Oh, yeah, he's going to stay here until the cops show up. Absolutely. He'll do that.
I think this is a lesson. Somebody said, I don't like meeting men from social media if I can't be in a physical with real conversation. And I think this is a testament to how social media can lead to situations that, you know, make us compromise our judgments, because, you know, social media has become almost just like touching one another. You know what I mean? So I think this is a good story that people that's on social media and who is meeting people, that you got to put doubles and triple and maybe 5 times layer of caution before you move forward. You know, so I think this is a testament to that. Let me let Mommy, I see she trying to say something. Mommy, who got it?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I thought I was catching you in
No,
between
you good.
statements. But
You good.
I was just going to say that when I met him, I didn't necessarily meet him through social media. I met him working. We just happened to be connected through Facebook. The woman that was coordinating the photo shoot, I knew her in person. He was the photographer they hired. So I met him for a job. I didn't meet, it wasn't like he saw me in a Facebook group, or, you know, it wasn't, at least that's how I'm interpreting it. It wasn't like I found him in a chat on Facebook, or like he inboxed me randomly on Instagram like some of these weird guys do. You know, still the same outcome. But when you're saying, when she was saying, I forget who it was, meeting people on social media, for me, it wasn't the same as how I've met other people on social media. I've met people on social media and become really great friends, and still have not met them in person and have been friends for years. But then, as always, you can meet weirdos in real life. You can meet weirdos on social media. You know, so I don't think that that's a gauge on how you should determine how you meet people.
But I'm just saying, I'm talking about the layers of caution. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you don't meet people. I'm just saying the layers of caution, because it seemed like that is his modus operandi. He goes straight
That's
to
his
social
hunting
media.
ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
He uses every form of social media that there is, from Tumblr to Twitter to Instagram. He has multiple Instagram pages, Facebook, Telegram groups, band, you know, he uses everything
What's
out
the other
there.
one?
Now Clubhouse,
Snapchat.
all that, Snapchat, you know, everything. He uses
Do
that to.
y'all fear that he may pursue slander or something like that? Could he do you think that he would try to attempt to portray this as slander?
I don't fear that. He's not the sharpest crayon in the box, and nor does he possess the means to even go about that. Now, if one of his benefactors wants to foot the bill for him to get an attorney, the attorney knows that that's just going to be some easy money for them to make off of it. He doesn't have a leg to stand on. So no, I don't fear that from him myself.
How about
absolutely.
you? You think he will pursue you slandering him?
For it to be slander, it's not true. You know what I'm saying? So just like what Miss Carla said.
Right.
I mean, you have the receipts, so I'm not afraid.
I really can't even see Michi or any of his other women saying, I'm going to provide you money for an attorney for a case that you're getting ready to lose, because he may be telling them all these lies, but he knows the crimes that he's committed. He knows all his crimes that he's committed. If they're stupid enough to want to, you know, or any of these other women that he's with, not just her, but if they're stupid enough to want to do something like that, it's guaranteed easy money for an attorney. And they don't have to do any work or anything for that case to get lost.
Man, this is a heavy story right here. Anybody wanna say something in closing? It's 11:21. We're gonna go to 11:30. This is just a heavy story, and I think it takes time to digest this story, and even just feeling the emotions from Protect Black Women. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't say much, but you can feel her emotions through the internet. You know what I'm saying? And so, Protect Black Goddess, is anything that you would like to share, like heartfelt share, that could maybe hopefully make a difference?
again, I just want to say that if there are women out there struggling like I was and currently am, don't be afraid to speak out. However you choose your avenue, don't be afraid to speak out, because it took a lot for me just to even say anything, because I knew instantly with my story, I was going to get blamed. I blame myself. I still do. And I just want to be real with that. And I'm working through understanding that it wasn't my fault. And because of how it happened and the events that led up to it, I was afraid. But I'm taking my power back. I got to. Like, this man is able to sleep at night peacefully, and I'm not experiencing PTSD symptoms like a mug. Like, he had power over me wherever rock he's under. And I'm coming to the point where I'm realizing that enough is enough. I have to say something. That's the only way I was going to heal, because I kept this story to myself for a minute. I wasn't just going to say anything. I was just going to go about my business, go about my way, because again, the only thing that I would have to gain from coming on the internet, I felt like, was trolls and negative comments. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't even going to do the interview. I wasn't. But when I got called a lying bitch, I contracted an incurable disease that I can't get rid of. I said no more. I have to say something. So I want to encourage any woman that has been victimized by him or anybody else to talk to somebody. It's not your fault. Again, I don't care if you went over there butt naked doing cartwheels, ready for action. Once you say no, that means it automatically needs to stop. And that's not what happened in my situation. I wish I would have listened. And I take full accountability for the part I played in everything. And I want to be clear, because I'm not going to sit here and try to paint myself again, giving white women tears, as I call it, crying rape when it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I got to say something. I do. And that's my purpose and why I'm here. And now end with that.
Thank you, sister. I appreciate you. How about the mommy hoop goddess?
It's pretty much all been said. If you have been with him, you do not have to come publicly on this platform. You can go and get a test to find out your status. You can go to a therapist privately. Either way, however you decide to do it, go get some help. And tell somebody, talk about this so somebody else can be warned, so they can know the signs to look for. Because K Foss is not the only K Foss type man out here. Look at these comments. Look at these type of comments. You'll see who all is in agreement with this type of behavior. You'll see who else may be supporting this type of behavior, who else may be predatory in nature as well. He's not the only one, and he learned it from somewhere. Pay attention.
And I definitely agree, sis. You know, I was looking at some of the shows that I've been doing lately, and I'm like, how you know, the internet or social media,
all the comments.
Yeah, social media really tells on people, and pardon me, it tells on people comprehension level. It tells on people whether they have empathy. It tells on people whether they have sympathy. It tells on people whether they're potential sexual predator. You look at the comments in some of here, unbelievable. I blocked so many people because many of them was trying to allude to it's your fault. It's what you do? Why would you be with a man like that? How you get attracted to a man like that? Like as if you all would know that it would end with this. You know what I'm saying? Unbelievable.
Right. They don't come and tell you like, hey, I like to rape women. Are you cool with that? That's not a conversation they
Right.
have on the first date.
Right.
Because if
I
they
want to have
did,
sex
And I
with your
sure
daughter.
as
You
hell
I'm
ain't
like,
down with it?
signed up for that shit.
Mm-mm. Or they don't say, hey,
How,
I have herpes and I'm going to forcefully give it to you. No.
yeah, I don't think
Nobody does
nobody
that.
is running around saying I got herpes. Come on, let me share them. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-mm.
yeah, I don't got that happen.
Mm-mm.
How about you, Black Hourglass?
Well, you know, when you and I first started talking about putting this information out there and letting people know what NFAC was really about, and Grandmaster Jay and K Foss, and you know, now I'm hearing, you know, K Foss and Desert Eagle was trying to, you know, run train on this girl and stuff like that. When all that stuff we first talked about, I never imagined it would come to this. When you know, at first I was uncomfortable with even going on your show to get this information out there because I was like, everybody's just going to attack me. But it's been the exact opposite. I've had at least 10 women come to me. Most of them, of course, do not want to be interviewed. I've had at least 10 women come to me and say they have been sexually harassed or worse by this man. And it's ongoing. You know, it's almost a daily occurrence now that women are coming out. I never imagined how deep this rabbit hole really went. And the two sisters you see sitting here now is partially because of what you're doing in helping us to get the word out on these sexual predators pretending to be liberators of Black people. You know, I can't thank you enough for allowing me to have a voice. I wouldn't have been able to let people know, to warn them, to, you know, even if it wasn't the K Foss thing, y'all need to be aware that NFAC is not what you think it is either. You need to steer clear of that. These people are all domestic violence charge holders. They are not who they appear to be. And I just want to thank you for letting us women who would be voiceless otherwise share our stories, resonate with other people, hopefully help save somebody. Because I'm just fearful that, you know, he beat this young lady. I saw the bruises. What if the
Yes.
Yep.
next time is worse than that? What if the next girl goes to the hospital? What if he accidentally kills the next girl by mistake? You see what I'm saying? I can't live with that if I knew that it was something that I could do that may have prevented that from happening. And so that's why I'm gonna keep talking about it. I'm not gonna be silent on this. I'm not gonna cut him some slack because he K Foss and he cool and all this other kind of stuff. He is not what he appears to be. This is the real K Foss that you hear being presented to you tonight and from the other episodes that we've shared. That is the real person. He is a covert narcissist. He is a sociopath. He likes to abuse women. He likes to abuse children. He likes to beat people out of their money. He likes to not work and earn a living for himself. That is the real person that you're dealing with. And I just thank you for allowing me the opportunity to get that out there and just let the people know what we have in our community.
Well, I appreciate it. Before I let y'all go, a sister reached out to me. I'm gonna try to call her right now. She just wanted, I think she wanted to share something. I don't know if she wanted to share her story or share something with y'all, but are you there, sis? Islam. So before we close out, and you had text me, I looked at my phone and seen you had text me.
I'm here.
So yeah. Hold up, you got an echo. You got to cut off your TV or your computer. Okay. So now, so here you go. Can y'all hear her?
Yeah.
Say something, sis. They can hear you, sis.
Islam, sis, you guys are queens. I look at the comments that are listed here, and I'm going to be honest and real with you guys. I thank you for sharing your story and not letting your story be you. I am too a victim. And this K Foss person I'm not real familiar with, but let's be real, gentlemen and ladies. There are plenty of men and women that do this and prey on us women that were not taught what to look for and who to look for in our lives. We are easily manipulated. Has nothing to do with how we feel about ourselves. It has nothing to do about how we carry ourselves. We are manipulated because these people change skins like chameleons. So I want to thank you women for saying, yes, I am a victim. And yes, the police, they are not responders for us. Whether we are black women, white women, whatever type of women, they are reactive. I was in a 13-year marriage to a manipulative, narcissistic person and had kids by them, and they did not help. So you can tell me to call the police all day long. Until you walk my shoes and until you walk these ladies' shoes, stop with the comments. What if it's your mother? What if it's your daughter? These women are doing us a service because we are not having it anymore.
Islam, sis. That's my sister. I appreciate you, sis. That's my sister, Almatina Bay. She's a member of our organization, the More Shines Temple of America, and I appreciate her calling in. She was like, Grand Sheik, and she don't never say Grand Sheik, I need to call in. And so I felt that, like, hold up, let me let her call in. I think that's an excellent way to end the show. I would like to follow up because I know some things are happening, some things are going on behind the scenes, and once all of those things wrap up, I would love to invite y'all back to see how things go. You follow me?
Absolutely. Yes.
Indeed.
Before we get off the show, Grand Sheik, I'm sorry to cut you off. Yeah,
you good, sis.
I just want to also thank you. We talked briefly. I want to say it publicly that these ladies, including you, y'all saved my life, and I just want to thank you. Like, you saved my life, cause I wasn't gonna say nothing. I wasn't gonna say a thing. So I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to say something. Time's up. Time is up. You saved my life. Because you made me look at it from a different perspective, because I love my baby with all my heart. And what good am I going to be to my baby if I'm effed up in the head? Can't sleep, can't eat, can't think straight.
Yep.
You were the one that encouraged me, including these two, to say something. So people can say whatever they want about you. You messy, this messy. This ain't messy. This is real. You're helping me heal in so many ways that you can't even imagine. I still carry them words today. And so I want to thank you. That's all I got to say.
And sis, let me say, it's deeply felt. And I know the way that I feel it right now. I'm talking about, I feel it in every fiber of my being, without a doubt. And if anybody have any type of humanity in their heart, they would have to have felt that too. They would have to have felt that. And I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you because I don't have daughters. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't have any. I do have daughters. Let me say it like this. I don't have any biological daughters, if you will. But it's a lot of young ladies that look up to me as a father figure. And with that being the case, I could not imagine that one of them would come to me with a story like this without me catching a charge. I just couldn't imagine. I just could not imagine. I mean, the only recourse would be to find this joker and deal with it later.
It definitely triggered the mother in me. And I'm raising a daughter. My daughter was the 5-year-old that we talked about in Black Hourglass's first interview and also in my interview.
And let me say this, last but not least, I did invite K Foss to come on the show multiple times to respond from the first interview with Black Hourglass to the second interview with Black Hourglass. From the interview with Mommy Goddess, he reached out to me. I said, brother, you're always welcome to come on the show. And I'm not so sure now because I know that there's some things going on in the background and it is what it is. But I actually offered him to come on the show to respond from the first time this story was talked about.
He likes to do these things, manipulation and clowning on women and yelling at them. But because you're a man and he knows that you know what he's really done and what receipts you potentially may have received from me and others, he's afraid to come on because you're going to box him in and he's not going to be able to cuss his way out of it. And that's the real reason why he won't come on here, because you're a man and he's afraid to confront you because you're going to light his ass up.
And I'm going to tell you, family, it's so many receipts to this story, you would be blown away. We're just talking right now, but I want to thank you again, sis. I'm about to close out. We're going to talk about our next show, but we're going to get back to this on the back end as things conclude, because some things are going on, and we'll find out about that later. All right? Appreciate y'all, sis. That's right. That's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow night. I'm tired.
It's green tea and black tea, y'all.
I got the guava goddess one, of course.
See that? What's the ingredients in it? What's the ingredients in it? Anybody know?
My kombucha, just to settle this argument, my kombucha is made of kombucha culture, black
kombucha
tea.
Culture, not the plant.
No, the cultures.
Oh, Lord.
Black tea, green tea, and then it's got various juices in it. Now you could say tea leaves do come from a plant.
But he said kombucha is a plant. And so that's why we ain't gonna let it go.
Kombucha wars.
Naturally,
that's right.
Alcohol.
Yeah,
we gotta get Dr. Inky back in here though.
No, the only way Inky come back if he debate me.
I know.
Only way Inky can come back if he has to debate me. You know what I'm saying?
My baby was involved in that debate. She was like, "It's from the." I don't know what she was saying. She was yelling at the computer.
Look, the only way Inky can come back if he debate me. And anybody that think that kombucha is a plant, I ask you to debate me. You know what I'm saying? But even if you don't, I'm turning up tomorrow night. I hope my voice is right. You know what I'm saying? I'm going slide for slide. I'm turning up because you know why? Too many people have been in my inbox talking about this foolishness. They have been manipulated to believe that this doctor has the keys to what health is, and he messed up. And I'm telling you, his trolls that made it bad for him. It's his trolls. It's his trolls that did it. Now his trolls been all in my. I'm talking about emails. Y'all wouldn't believe this. Tons of emails, all up in Instagram, all up on the chat. Nah, we gonna go in.
I didn't have this on my 2021 bingo card that we would have a kombucha war in the end of the summer. But here we are.
Watch this. I'm going to prove, and you want one of the main things I want to show. This is one of my main points, that we are so easy manipulated. We are easy manipulated, and I'm gonna take sound bites. I'm gonna take sound bites of exactly what the brother said, and I'm gonna even show you the history of kombucha, and I'm gonna show you the history of kombu. Two different things. I'm gonna show you. Just like Zenzuna said. He said kombu is the algae, kombucha is literally algae tea. I'm gonna show you, matter of fact. Where's my phone at? Nah, I'm gonna do something right now. That's something that I did in the throne. Let me show you something. I'm gonna show you. I want you to show me. Let me do this real quick. I'm gonna prove something to you right now. Zen wrong. Let me show you something real quick. Zen right, but he's wrong, and I'm gonna show you what I mean by that. Watch this. Stand by real quick. I'm gonna shut this down once and for all. Watch this. Here it comes. And I put this in our what's the name? Watch this. I'm gonna show you something. Watch this real quick. Bam. Let me pull this up real quick. I just sent it to myself because I'm going through a whole presentation. I'm going to tell you how it got to this. Because man, I'm telling you, they've been all up in my inbox. They've been everywhere talking crazy. All right. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do with this one. All right. First of all, I'm gonna just give you one thing that I'm gonna give you, and I'm gonna shut everybody up. Now, I'm gonna shut everybody up. I'm gonna get you to use common sense real quick. Watch this. Real quick, family. Everybody watch this. Explain this. Kombucha reportedly first appeared around 220 BC in ancient Manchuria, China. Kombu is from Japan and revered for its healing property. The exotic name comes from Dr. Kombu. It's named after a doctor, all right? A Korean doctor who brought the fermented tea to Japan as a new medicine. He brought the tea to Japan. It wasn't initially used with the algae. I'm gonna give y'all the whole history. Now, the Korean doctor who brought the fermented tea, not the kombu algae. To Japan as a new medicine for the alien emperor, Inkyo. Sound like Inky, don't it? We need to heal him from this pseudo nonsense. Japanese warriors considered the property of the fungus to be so invigorating that they took it into battle with hip flanks. From the Empire of the Sun, the tea made its way via Oriental merchants to courts of Europe. In Imperial Russia, it was known as Vasan. In Germany, as Kombucha. Now, let me tell you something. By the time people started using, now this is fact. By the time people started using kelp, and using it to make kombucha, kombucha had already been established to be made with black tea and green tea. So I don't know why somebody would even think that kombu. Now let me show you what kombu is. Kombu is very different. Facts. And I'm going to show you what kombu is. Real quick. I'm doing a whole presentation tomorrow. That's right. I'm going to shut this down. Real talk. Because these people crazy. Now, let me show you something. This is kombu. Kombu came later. Kombu was named after the Dr. Kombu in Japan, but the Dr. Kombucha was named after him initially in 200 BC. This guy don't know what he's talking about. Now, hold up. Now, let me screen share this. Kombu is come lately. Let me screen share this. Somebody say, who cares? I care. This is kombu. And you know what kombu is primarily used for? You know what it's used for? You know what this is? It's used for sushi. And Inky was right to a degree. He was right to a degree when he said that it was used to enhance taste. That's what kombu is used for. But some people use kombu to make kombucha, and that's how the kelp began to get the name kombu. So again, kombucha is not a plant. Kombucha was named after a doctor from China. Kombu is in Japan, and kombu is basically an adopted name for the kelp or the seaweed. Once again, most people, as they say, eat kombu. Very rarely is kombu made for kombucha. Very rarely. Kombucha is made from black tea and green tea. I'm going to turn up tomorrow. and this is why. Because our people are so misled by charlatans. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to do it for the point to show how people can be easily confused. Because something sounds like something, and you have studied that to try to associate it with that something, it doesn't mean it's that something. It doesn't mean that it's that something. And this is what you got to pay attention to. This platform is a critical thinking platform. It's a critical thinking platform. If you cannot critically think, then this ain't the place for you. This is just not the place for you. Now, I'm going to go into the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to show you what led up to this. And in short, what led up to this is a bunch of filibustering. A bunch of long sentences for short, simple answers. And if anybody been watching the show, that's what frustrated me. And then I hit a fever pitch when I say, show me the plan. I don't like to do a show where I say show and prove. When I talk to, let me talk to sister. See, I got people here that can bear witness. All you got to do is Google Dr. Kombucha. It'll come up. Black Hourglass. When you told me the story, right? One of the first thing I asked you is for receipts. That's one of the first things I asked you.
You did. I wouldn't have come talking to you if I didn't have documentation. And even after that, Young Sheik was like, all right, let me review all this. And he did. And then in the meantime, of course, there was just numerous other things that occurred and even more receipts happened. But that's always been his stance, no matter what the subject matter is. Do you have receipts? Can you quantify what you're stating? He's always been like that.
Absolutely. And for Honey Wheat says, I had so many tabs opening this morning about kombucha origins, seaweed, and plants. Let me say this to you, Honey Wheat. I am a researcher by nature. So the things that you want to, he said that link you share, you are misrepresenting. No, you want to, hey, email me, let's debate it tomorrow. TaharkaBay@gmail.com. Email me, let's debate it tomorrow. That kombucha is not a plant.
Are we ever going to talk about the cow's milk? Because that's what we were supposed to be talking about last night.
Now we're going to get this kombucha thing out the way too. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I appreciate y'all, family. Let me go ahead and tell people about the next show. We also got Onk coming in here. He's going to be debating, not really debating, having a conversation with an herbologist. Y'all remember anybody was in the throne where the herbologist was talking about the demonstration?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's going to be going up against this guy said Dr. Kabu is a story. Brother, kombucha originate in China. What are you talking about? Kombucha didn't originate in Japan, man. Kombucha didn't originate in Japan. Now Kabu is a story. It's just even if it's a story, it's a story of the origin of kombucha. Kombucha is not a plant. See how crazy we are to defend silliness? See how crazy we are? We so crazy to, all you got to do, and I wanted to say this to Honey Wheat, all you got to do is go to the origin of a thing. When did the word first appear? That would solve it right there. Look at your kombucha and find out what's in it. It's green tea. Of course, green tea is a plant, but he wasn't saying it like that. He said kombucha is a plant. And that's where you get MSG from. Total lie. Total lie. You can get MSG from that kelp called kombu, but he mixing apples and oranges. It's goofy. But with that being said, family, that's right. I'm telling you, somebody said 24 hours. Listen, they have been tearing me up, family. They have been all up my timeline. I'm serious. They've been all up my timeline. You know the sad part about this is that people have cult followings. Like they don't care about the truth. They do not care about the truth. I guarantee you, it's some people right now with K Foss, like, man, don't worry about that, man. Them bees tripping. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
They're not even going to say, man, maybe I should reach out to the sisters. Maybe I should check, see if Tahaka Bay got any more videos on the topic. Maybe I should investigate to see if any other sisters outside those that was on the show saying things. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing when somebody calls himself a doctor and then says something out of order, I'm the bad guy because I question it. I'm like, no, stop. Wait a minute. Hold up. Let's get this done first. Now I'm the bad. Let them talk. Let them talk. No, we ain't talking no more. Bam. I need that answer before we can talk. We talk about my health here.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? That people say people are so fanatical. And let me tell you, I'm a passionate person. I'm a passionate person about truth. I have cut off a lot of people due to the misrepresentation of truth. So people want to see a good show, but if you misrepresent truth, the show's over. And that doesn't mean that that's one time someone misrepresent truth. Maybe it slipped past your eye that it was misrepresented more than one time. Like this person say, no, you petty. Let me show you how petty I am. Let me show you how petty I am. Since you want to be a cult leader, I'm going to show you how petty I am. These people doing it to you, Inky. Anybody remember the show? I did the show, and the guy brings up the paperwork, and he says to Inky, is this you, Inky? Inky says, no, it's not me. The guy scrolls down the paperwork. And then the guy say, you got the alias here, alias there, alias here. And then Inky said, he start responding to the paperwork. But everybody, it slipped everybody's mind that Inky denied that that was him on the paperwork named Antonio. Anybody remember that? Anybody remember that?
I remember hearing about it.
I don't play lying on my show. I don't play that. And I can show you multiple times. Somebody say I should stay on topic. I'm sorry, family. You need to get your own show. This is how we do in closing. You know what I'm saying? You should get your own show. You know what amazes me too? This is how I'm gonna turn up on y'all. Call me what you want. You know what amazes me too? I literally organically built Morse World TV for the people, so we can have a voice. I tell everybody that I started this because Sinetta, I told everybody, look at Jane Griffin, wrong again. I told everybody that I started this to defend myself and the Moors against Sinetta, so everybody can have a voice. You know what I'm saying? Because anywhere you go, everybody will try to muffle your voice or try to turn your story into entertainment or a show. And I seen it going in the direction of more entertainment than information. I entertain when I open up, but once it's open, I'm giving information. I'm warning you of dangers. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference between me. We're not going to do 3 and 4 hours of entertainment without no information that can save you or help you in real time. That's not that platform. You see what I'm saying? And so anybody, look at M. Nugent, that's my guy. Inky need to get off the internet. Absolutely, M. Nugent. Absolutely. Salute to M. Nugent. Thank you, my brother. But I'm just saying, this show has always been about receipts. Now I'm going to allow, I don't care how much you were entertained. Now I'm going to allow entertainment supersede the purpose of the show. I enjoyed it too. But I'm telling you, if you would have paid attention, there was a lot of information that was either skirted around, or it wasn't right, and y'all got caught up in the laughs and giggles. They got caught up in the laugh and giggles and missed the whole point. They missed the whole point. It's okay to laugh and giggle, but don't be duped in the process. And I still like Inky. That's my man. But Inky, that wasn't the first bad information that Inky dropped on Morse World TV. That wasn't. It is what it is. Somebody said, how do I get in contact with the goddess? I appreciate y'all, family. I'm going to get out of here in a minute.
I'll put it in chat.
Okay. So I appreciate y'all, family. I talk to y'all on the back end. I'm talking Mommy Goddess and Protect Black Women. Appreciate you. Thank you. Stay safe and stay vigilant. Peace and love.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. So, family, listen, because people are tearing up, the chat, I'm going to pinpoint all of the misinformation. I'm going to pinpoint 4 pieces of misinformation and 4 things that will compromise Morse World TV. Now, I don't know why somebody would think that I'm going to choose entertainment over facts. I don't like truth and falsehood strangely mixed. I like my truth naked. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like. And I would debate anybody that kombucha is not a plant. Somebody said the views went down. That's right, because the coonery went down. The foolery went down. And that's what I mean by I built this channel organically. I didn't have to stunt. I didn't have to make up something. I like my music, but let me tell you something. That's organic. Because people that rock with you, they're going to rock with you regardless of the content. It's because they rock with you. We got people here, Cryptonomics, he rocks with me. Faith, Honeywheat, MJ Givens, rock with me. M. Nugent, rocks with me. Nagaz, rocks with me. Original People, rocks with me. Baltimore Stepper, rocks with me. Flo, rocks with me. Black Native, rock with me. You know what I'm saying? And many other, if I didn't mention them, I apologize. My point, I know who rock with me. B. O'Neill, rock with me. Stoic, rock with me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't need 1,500, 2,000 people that's going to come and go. So, man, I don't need that. I need it to be organic. I need it to be organic. I don't need that. My channel was built organically. You feel me? Organically. My channel was not built on fluff. It was not built on fluff. Anybody that have watched Morse World TV would know that this channel is not built on fluff. That's the point right there, Ben. When you get your own money, you ain't got to be fake. 100. But we're going to turn up tomorrow. Now tomorrow, because I'm going to have Inky on the flyer, because he did a little presentation. So it's only right that I do mine. I'm going to turn up, man. I don't care if it's one person in here. I'm going to put it on the record. I'm going to do like the Moors do. I'm going to put it on the record for the record. Tomorrow at 9:30 at night, I'm putting it on the record and for the record. I'm telling you, I'm going to have slide after slide after slide after slide. I'm going to go to disingenuous. I'm going to go to fact. I'm going to go to history. Yeah. Because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that we fall for the okie doke. And then got nerve to think that I'm supposed to support something that is disagreeable to me. I'm going in tomorrow. I'm going in. I wasn't going to do nothing, but his trolls made it bad. His trolls did it. You know what I'm saying? His trolls did it. So now you got to blame your trolls. They've been all on my Instagram. They with bad information. I'm not going to say a bad word about Inky. I'm going to say a bad word about his information. I have no problem with Inky. I have a problem with his information. Alphanoid, I have no problem with Inky. Debate don't mean hate. I have a problem with his information. And the reason why I have a problem with the information is because our people are stroked with bad information on the internet. We are stroked with bad information. And then just because we like somebody, we let our teachers, our scholars, our friends to remain a fool because we refuse to tell them. We refuse to tell them that, brother, you out of order. Brother, you out of order. And I'm going to play the video tomorrow. I'm going to show you. People talk, but I got so worked up. Yeah. After I said leave it alone. I'm going to show y'all, man. I'm going to show y'all tomorrow. I'm going to show y'all. And then y'all going to understand. Then y'all going to understand why I let it blow up. I let it blow up. Y'all going to understand tomorrow. I was going to do it in the throne, but I'm going to do it right here. Y'all going to understand tomorrow why I let it blow up and let it do what it did. Y'all going to understand tomorrow. You know what I mean? That's right. Damn you, Kombucha. Yeah. But it's a learning moment. It's a teachable moment tomorrow. Tomorrow is a teachable moment. It's not about Inky. It's not about Inky. But tomorrow is a teaching moment. He said, Inky admitted that kombucha is not a plant. He said you were right. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that because he got his minions and his little cult following talking about, man, Inky was right. Inky was right. And like, kombucha is a plant. Potato, tomato. I'm like, what? What? Potato, tomato. Like, what? Somebody said Inky said that. Okay. But what came after that? Did justification come after that? I got to hear it. Somebody send me the link. I got to hear it. Nah, I'm not technically right. I'm fully right. That's right. I'm not taking, look. Nah, I don't want a technical. Honey, I ain't accepting no technical. I'm accepting fully right. I'm going to show you the history of kombu and kombucha. I want a full exoneration on my show arguing with me. When I only asked them, was it good for you? That's all I asked. All I asked, was it good for you? I ain't asked you, was it a leaf, a tree, a branch, piece of dirt? I asked, was it good for you? I don't want no technical right. We reunified. Listen, man, Manhattan, the most powerful unification in the world is truth. Believe that. Let me give you something from Prophet Noble Drew Ali. An enemy that's made by truth is better than a friend made by flattery. I'm going to say it again. An enemy that's made by truth is better than a friend made by flattery. Yeah. That's right. Be more step. I want a dismissal. I want it thrown out of court. That's right. Because his minions was army, body more. They was army. You know what I mean? They was army. Somebody said, prove that was his name on that paperwork. I'm not going to debate his paperwork. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you. Give me an enemy made from truth. You know what I'm saying? I don't like people to try to browbeat me about something that's so basic. Somebody said, take it easy. All right, I'm going to take it easy. I mean, man, listen. Them channels still going to be on the road. Let me tell you something. Let me show y'all something. Before, what people don't understand is before I invited Inky on the channel, I was already knocking the brains outside Netta. Inky added to it. But before I invited Inky on the channel, I'd already go look at my page. I'd already been knocking Sinetta. You know what I'm saying? And you talk about views. Anytime you put Sinetta in the chat, views gonna pop up because people like drama. So it's partially me and Inky. It's partially putting Sinetta in the comment section. People like drama. I mean, and so somebody says, so if is he a doctor? That's another thing that I had a problem with, and he know it. I said, brother, somebody asked you as a doctor, why didn't you answer them? He said, I don't have to answer them. Now you mean tell me that that's official? He said it on the show. He don't have to answer nobody that want to see his credentials as a doctor, but he also is going to give advice from that seat. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I'm not coming at Inky. I'm not coming at Inky. He says he's a doctor, but someone said, let me see your credentials. He said, no, I ain't got to show you nothing. But then offer advice as a doctor. And I'm supposed to facilitate that. I love my brother Inky, but I can't facilitate that. Anybody in here, am I supposed to facilitate that? I'm supposed to facilitate that. That you on Moorish World TV, the home of the receipts, and someone says that Inky says he's a doctor. And people say, well, what school you went to? I ain't got to tell you nothing. But then proceed to give you advice on health as a doctor. Come on, man. People tripping, man. That's right, Kombucha Gate. E-Manhattan, Kombucha Gate. Man, I might leave. I might not do it, man. I might not do it, man. People say Inky conceded. I'm going to let his trolls. If Inky conceded and said that I was right, only thing I'm right about is that kombucha is not a plant. There is no plant named kombucha. You can interpret anything else as you want. You can't look up the dictionary and say, wow, this is a new species of plant. It's called kombucha. Nah. You know what I'm saying? So don't get it caught up. If I put Sinetta in this chat tomorrow and come with receipts, it'll be 2,000 people in here. Unfortunately, our sisters have been taken advantage of. Our sisters have been manipulated, strong-armed out of their person, and 800 people show up. You see what I'm talking about? We are sick people, man. We sick. Oh, man, y'all had a good thing going. They want to see the clown show. But a sister being taken advantage of. A sister being manipulated. 25, 50, and 40. 800 people show. You understand what I'm saying? Unbelievable. Unbelievable to me. But guess what? I'd rather fight for those that's worth fighting for than to trying to get some views for some social media. You know what I'm saying? With some buffoonery, some lies, and some horse and pony show. I ain't doing it. I'm just not doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap for me. I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? Because as I told you, That's right.
I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. If you a friend of the Moors, then you's a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you.
Let me pause real quick. Family, all of the sisters and brothers that sent me an email, I will be responding tomorrow. We're going to have a bunch of new shows. We're going to have a bunch of new information. We're going to have a bunch of new different faces. I'm telling you, I got so many emails in one night. Oh, my goodness. We going to get busy, family. I'm telling you, we are going to get busy. I look forward to having Unc on here tomorrow, possibly tomorrow. I got to check and see if I can set it up. I would love to see that conversation, but I'm telling you, family, I got emails just flowing. If you sent me an email, I got you. I'm going to be responding tomorrow. I'm telling you, it's going to be serious. It's going to be serious. Oh, man, we got a bunch of sisters coming in. I haven't seen Community since Inky left, but I'm going to email him about the sisters panel. We're going to get some things done.
Behind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off Trump, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people talk European, how to bathe. And looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell no, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed, and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. All you super scholars holler, this era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for them people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie. I be that more you gon' remember. Be more. I be that more you gon' remember. Nap town. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. LA. I be that more you gon' remember. New York. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number.